Hey folks, Joshua here. Welcome back to Timberborn. Last time we got started working on delivery or creation of scrap metal. And after thinking about it, I think this is kind of the perfect opportunity to experiment with the district system. We're far enough away here from our main district that it's definitely going to be worth it to set up a district and make it self-sufficient, independent. I'm not exactly sure how the system works, but we're going to experiment with it today. I think we're going to set up a new second district. So the question is where to have the district crossing, which does cost 600 science. Balances goods between the two connected districts. Each side has its own district workers that distribute goods between the district crossing and the rest of the district. So if we look at this, there's a two-sided building here, right? We can't build in the water. So really the district crossing should be set up here. And the goal would be, I would like to have it somewhere in between there actually. So we might even want to set up, do we instead want to alter this so that district crossings like right around here maybe? And then there's a path that leads up to this and then down and over here? Possibly. If we take a look at our pathing, we can see that right around here is sort of the area where it gets to be a little bit too far away. So potentially setting up the district crossing here or maybe here makes more sense. I think ideally you want enough space to be able to have a couple of warehouses on either side as well. So this area might be a little bit too small, but we can't build in here unless we raise platforms to build on. So, I mean, I guess technically we could do something like landscaping, right? 20 logs for a dam, like to build enough. 12 logs for a levee, like to build a platform large enough to have all of our district trade across it there doesn't seem like it would work. If we kind of clear cut this and then had stairs leading up here, that might be the better play. We can clear cut this and prepare a district crossing here and then have a district center kind of over here. This district would be self-sufficient. So we'd want a couple workers here in the scrap metal, one worker for the smelter that we're planning. That's 3, right? They'll need their own water. We don't want anyone hauling water over here. That's 4. There's a little bit of food over here. We could maybe have like 5, 6, 7 for like rotating between builder, hauler, gathering berries, maybe cutting down these trees and like foresting to replant them so they have a source of logs. And then what the idea would be basically advanced food like carrots, and advanced materials like planks and gears would come out of downtown and over to this scrap district. Those would be the main things we would export from downtown. And then from the district here, we would export metal, right? Completed metal blocks. There's no point in sending scrap. Really, we just use our smelter to make metal blocks and send them over. And if there's advanced metal products we can make from those can be made here too. So like, we might want a district over here with 7 or 8 people, 7 or 8 beavers maybe. That seems like enough to run a small work-focused district where the workers live here and they have their comforts, they have their well-being. So we'll need to build a few, duplicates of stuff we have over here, like the rooftop terrace, like the campfires, some bushes and lanterns, and health and safety stuff like the tooth grinding station and the health bed. But eventually, over time, we can build up a small working district here where the workers live here, eat and drink and relax here, and also work on the scrap metal and produce exports. That's kind of a long-term plan, it seems like. I guess if that's our play, to get started, we need to clear cut this entire forest here to make room for the district crossing and get pathing up and running. So we will need to have our path take a bit of a detour there, we'll need to demolish these existing paths. And then, well, we can use these we can walk on these levees if we get up to them. So we do something like this where we have one stair going up onto this and another stair going this way. We build a path on top of that. There we go. And then we can just have this kind of come to here for now. And we can mark all of these trees for clear cutting. Mark cutting area. Let's cut all these pines down, I think. Let's just get them cut. We'll want to build a... So the path to get to this will be to go down here, up there, up that path, that pair of stairs to get here. And then our worker's going to cut all these trees down, and we're probably going to want... We don't want them to haul the logs all the way over here, so we are going to want some sort of log pile over here. That could be a good thing for multiple reasons. So, but for now, we'll just see for now about having a large pile here like this, so that whoever we set up over here to cut the trees can end up clearing all these trees out. Once they're down to stumps, we'll also have to destroy them. But once we've cleared this area, we can start building... We can build another set of platforms or levees across. We can set up the district crossing here. Set up our district over here, some like living buildings over here. And then we'll have some wood that could be available for logs for them. They can get scrap. They have access to water. We can build them a little bridge or some way to get access to these berries. And that way we have like a small district dedicated to producing metal, right? And if we need to output more metal, we have plenty of space here to build another smelter with more windmills to power it. And there's a lot of metal here. I mean, eventually we'll burn through this, and then we have the problem of this district becomes useless. But maybe it's just part of our story. It becomes something else later. You know, if we call it like Scrapton or, you know, yeah, Scraptown or something. Once we've exhausted all this metal, we can repurpose it somehow. We can think about that in the future. But that's going to be a big long-term plan over multiple cycles probably to get that set up. But I do want to experiment with the district system. This seems like a good way to do it. An interesting way to do it. In the meantime, if we go back to downtown, everything here is fine, right? Our main concern is just building up science and allowing our beavers to live their lives for right now. We survived the last drought quite well. We do have concerns about the flow of water here, and I think we want one more. We want one more dam here. I don't think we need sluice gates over here. Just a straight up dam would be fine, but maybe we follow the pattern here so that we can control the flow. Like if these are slightly lower over here, we'll get a higher flow rate, perhaps. Whereas if we build dams, we can't control this. Yeah, I think we want the same setup. We want levees and 2 floodgates over here so that we can control where the most water flows, hopefully granting us more flow through our windmill, our water mill, our water wheel over here. So that means we need pathing over here at some point and some stairs to get up there. How many builders do we have right now? We have 4 builders, plus we have a builder's hut somewhere. Where was that? That's the farmhouse. Here we go. Yeah, we got 6 builders going. We've just put down a lot of stuff over here, which is going to take them a while to build because of the commute. It looks like this path might be the one we want to use. I don't really want to cut through the birches. So if we extend... Yeah, these have all been clear cut. So that's fine. I don't know, do we need to mark these for destruction? Probably not. I don't have... Later we might need to, but I don't have a use for this right now. Getting down from too high tiles is tough. So why don't we hug the edge here, come up here, and then down, down, right? Yeah, that works. Okay, so then there's our path down from this plateau. There's our path up. Go ahead and do something like this, and then follow that path. Oh, interesting. That just destroyed that. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and build our dam here. So for landscaping, or no, for landscaping, we want our floodgates kind of in the middle. We want 2 floodgates here. And then we want levees to block it off completely. Let's set these to lower priority so they get built last. Make sure they can get into those corners and block that off. That seems like a good play. That's a lot of building that we've set up. A lot of building we've instructed the game to do for us. We're starting to have a lot of workers. 11 children. Okay, so when they grow up, we're going to get a lot of vacancies filled. For now, let's let the game run. What are you complaining about? Yeah. All 3 of those are lacking workers. That's fine. For now. How are we doing on logs? 309? Yeah, I remember I turned that on because we had gone through most of these pines and I wanted to keep the flow of logs going. That's okay. We can turn these on and off as the pines regrow. They're starting to come back. We've got these oaks as well. Is there a way to prioritize oaks for the cutters? No. Beaver made thicket. Plant 1,000 trees during a single playthrough. Interesting. There's no way to assign priority to a type of tree that we want them to cut. So they're just going to do what they're going to do. Okay. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 scientists now working full time, which is cool. We've got a stockpile of planks and gears, so I don't need to turn this back on, even though power's back. Interestingly, we do see these guys taking showers, even though they get wet coming through to visit. So, whatever. Enjoy your showers, guys. Yeah, a big chunk of our population is dedicated to science. With 8 scientists working full-time, that's almost a third of our adult population generating science for us. But it's like, it is a bottleneck, so we have to do it. Single foresters keeping up with the clear cutting. I like that. I don't know that we have to worry too much about micromanaging at this point. Water is great. I could maybe even pause my pumper for a minute here. Yeah, we're full on water. So I am going to pause this for a minute and let that person go work somewhere else. Once this gets down to like, 250-ish, we'll put him back to work. We got 386 food, plenty of berries and carrots. One thing we can do is start increasing our food diversity or our nutrition. We can go ahead and start planting some dandelions or sunflowers now. I believe we already have sunflower seed storage. Yep, okay. Let's plant some sunflowers. So we've got 4 rows here. The carrots produce 3. The sunflowers produce 2 at 5 days, so they take longer to grow, produce less stuff. If we have space for 200, these guys have nothing to do right now because I filled them up with 3. We might not need 3 right now. Let's go down to 2 and we'll plant, let's see, so that's 8. So 8 times 2 is 16. All right, so 4 rows is like 60 sunflower seeds per harvest. We have, what, 40 adults? I guess let's just start with that, and we'll see how that does with the sunflowers. And our 2 little farmer guys are going to go out there and get working on those. I like that. Okay, our builders should be quite busy. We also have 3 haulers doing work. Is that too many? I think that's fine. It's maybe a little bit more than we need. Or, well, 30 working adults, 3 haulers. If it's 1 to 10, that kind of works, right? We are going to be spending some of these planks. So, you know what? We also do need, I think, turn at least one of these back on. One of these lumber mills. Not sure we need to worry about gears as much, but you know what? Actually, I'm going to turn on the other lumber mill too. We'll leave the gear factory off for now, for the time being. And we are generating quite a lot of science. You know what? We might need to turn some of the science off because it's very, very fast right now with 8 full-time workers. We might have other uses for them. What am I saving up for? Let's take a look at what's available to purchase here. So under crops, we have some aquatic farmhouse stuff. Under structures, we got the spiral stairs, double platform. Zipline is kind of interesting, but expensive. I'm not sure how valuable that is. Like, we need a high place for them to go down the zipline to. Certainly, being able to traverse this long distance more quickly would be good. But I don't know if now's the time to mess around with that. That might be a later game type of thing. It is expensive. Suspension bridges and overhangs seem valuable. They are kind of expensive. But being able to cross gaps seems good, and you're going to want that before you have it, right? We have the 1x1. Overhang 2x1 could be interesting, but this, I don't know, this seems like the kind of thing you buy when you need it. For storage, I think we're fine. District management. We do want this district crossing at some point. That's 600. I want a double lodge. More efficient in terms of logs, but that's not a huge deal. We do want this large water pump at some point, but we need treated logs for that. There's the aquatic farmhouse. The grist mill turns grain and cattails into some type of flour product. I don't think we need that yet. The bakery would turn those products then into bread and crackers and rolls and stuff. So that's all mid to late game. Beehive boosts the growth of nearby crops. That seems cool. But it's 400 science, and we need cloth for that. We go into wood here. We do have the paper mill. It might not be a bad idea to unlock this and start stockpiling some paper for the future. This sucks up 80 horsepower. That's an interesting one for 250. The tapper shack, we've also seen we're going to need sap and syrup, so that's another one we could maybe think about. All right, so things in the wood category are important. We haven't unlocked the smelter yet. So this is probably my next buy. Okay. Yeah, we probably go metal and wood, smelter. For power, I don't think we need to worry about any of that. For science, we're a ways off from getting the observatory, although it'll be great when we can get it. Once we get sap, we can get this observatory going and completely revolutionize our science. I think that's enough. So we know that the next thing we want to buy is the smelter at 300. We have the scrap now. We have 36 scrap metal. This costs 30 to build, or is it 30 to build or 30 to unlock? I'm not sure. All right. So metal and wood for the immediate future. Let's resume. I don't want to have them build too much over here. I mostly want to have them build the infrastructure to set up the district. And then once we have the district, the builder will build things locally. We are going to have to haul things like planks and gears over there because these guys are not going to be producing anything like that. There is a bit of flow here for power, but no, I don't think so. Look at this. Look at this. This is great. They're getting started on the windmills over here. Yeah, as long as people are having to do this long commute to get over here, it's going to be slow to get up and running. But once it's up and running, we can build the district and get it self-sufficient. I love that. We do want to clear cut these trees. That's okay. All right, there's 250 science. Yeah, 300 for that. And night falls on day 2 of cycle 3. Okay. So let's speed through this. Food and water looking good. Resources looking good. More baby beavers being born. Only, oh, then Amblets died of old age. Okay, 2 vacancies, 0 unemployed. That's great. Only 4 free beds, but over 40 beavers, even if 12 of them are children. So I think we just let this run for a bit. We can keep an eye on the windmills over here and the dam over here for proxies on whether our builders have things to do. Everyone else should be pretty employed, so we just kind of keep an eye on this tab and these 2 areas of the map. Rashi grew up. That gives us another working adult. 31 working adults. Okay, we just got our first unemployment slot. So what do we want to do with that? Who do we want to put where? Gears are at 61. That's half storage. Let's see. What's paused? We've got our forester over here paused. I honestly don't think we even need this anymore. We've got our berry collector paused. We're completely full on berries and carrots. What else do we have paused? Our water pumpers are paused. Yeah, it's not looking like we need a huge amount of... It's not looking like there's much we can unpause to get people working. So let's add, for now, we want another builder or another hauler? I think maybe another hauler makes sense here. Maybe even... I was going with 1 to 10, but we are moving things long distance. So yeah, for now we'll get ourselves another hauler and we'll keep an eye on that. Lost like 25 water over the course of a day. That's fine. Like our wellness is doing quite well here. Once we get our sunflower seeds, we might get up to 10 and get that additional bonus sometimes. Okay. They seem like they're going well. We'll just let the beavers cook. Oh, hold on. You have a problem. What is your problem? You are hungry. Well, there's a lot of food, so you just have to go feed yourself. Okay. Beaverton is a thriving little community. I feel like whoever's been planning this community has done a very good job. One problem I have, I would love to prioritize cutting the oaks. I don't know if there's a way to do that. So when you go to cut trees, there's no sense of priority to say cut the oaks first. There's no way to tell them what to cut first. Because the oaks are more efficient. We're prioritizing the oaks for the foresters. But there doesn't seem to be a way... I guess I could unmark the pines for a minute and tell them stop cutting those. And cut down all of these oaks over here. That's one way to do it, I guess. Can this guy even reach those? Yeah, he can reach most of them. So I could have them prioritize the oaks here. I don't know another way to do it. You can't... Let's see. Prioritize building by haulers, medium chance of broken teeth. There's a workplace priority, but no way to tell them what to focus on cutting. So I guess the only way to do it for now is to tell them to... Yeah, stop cutting the pines, right? Stop cutting the pines. And then they should go cut down all these delicious oaks. There we go. Yeah, I guess that's how you have to do it. If you have all those trees in range of the lumberjacks, you just got to tell them, okay, here's what I want you to cut. Take them a couple days to work their way through all this oak. How are we doing on storage? Yeah, 447 out of 920 logs, so that's okay. We've got a lot of log storage over here. 180, 180, 63. Do I need... I might need another log pile over here, maybe. Yeah, they have another log storage. Hold on. Before we go too far, I think I do need another log pile. Or two. This is like our main log storage, so... I guess going like that is the way to go. Let's check in on our other... Yeah, they're still working on this windmill. Yep, they're building it. Okay. We're up to 550 science. Let me go down here and unlock the smelter now. So we have 56 scrap. If I unlock it, we still have 56 scrap. Yeah, so it doesn't... you just have to have these resources to build it, which is fine. That makes sense. Now, why is that saying that doesn't work? Do I need another shaft? I guess it can't be adjacent to it like that, because then maybe it has too many connections and can't tell where you're actually intending it to connect. Okay. If I do that and then put the smelter there, okay, that'll work. All right. That seems good. We'll need a path to the entrance, and we'll need a place for them to store their output. This is where we're... Yeah, it's a long days. It's a long journey to get here to work this, which is why this, I think, does need to be a district. Let's see. If I can get them over this obstruction, I don't think I want to break that. Do I want to break that? That sends water through here. I'm not sure I want to do that. I think I want to leave this obstruction for now. But we want to get over here. And we're going to need a path that crosses like this, that crosses here somewhere. Right? So we're going to want... What's cheaper? This is 6 planks, which is expensive. Whereas if I just go and get 20 logs, 12 logs for a levee. Is that the cheapest thing I can build? 12 logs for a levee. I think there's something with storehouses. 3 logs. So like, yeah, that's like a nasty little trick to get a platform you can build on, I guess. Seems cheesy to me. I don't like the idea of having it with nothing assigned and nobody able to work on it, though. So I'll use a levee. I'll use some levees here. Put one there and one there. And then we'll do some stairs as well. Paths and structures. There we go. Okay. So that'll be... Right now they have to go the long way around to get there, but once we cut through this forest... Let's see. Let's get the construction priority and the workplace priority up on this lumberjack flag to clear cut these trees. Yeah. That seems fine. That seems good. This was going to be a large pile of logs. Okay, that's fine. We can work on that. Okay. Seems good. How are we keeping up? Water's starting to go down a little bit. We might want to put someone back on pumping eventually. We do have one unemployed. Maybe, yeah, all right. Let's send you back to pumping. Get that back up to 400. That's fine. We've got tons and tons of people. 34 working adults. Love to see it. How's the oak coming? Yeah, there's a whole host of oak that these guys can carve for me. You guys are going to be... No, I want settings. There we go. You guys are going to be more log piles. We're going to build a huge stockpile of logs. Love to see that. Let's grab that over here as well. Okay. Already up to 355 signs. Let's go. We said after metal we were going to look at wood. So the Tapper's Shack is 500. Got it. Okay. We are going to want to get involved with that. Probably that goes here. Yeah, and then we can gather from all those pines. That works. And we can set up some small storages for the pine resin, or the sap, rather. Okay. Looking good, looking good. Dandelions. I guess these haven't matured yet? Yeah, they're on their way to day 5. Good to see, good to see. Those beehives seem like they'd be good to get as well, but I guess we don't need them yet. Like, we don't need super efficient crops. We have more food than... Well, we're actually starting to eat into the carrots now, which is interesting. Is it time to build a second farmhouse now? What's your problem? You're hungry? So we've got 2 farmers. They're focused primarily on harvesting. For efficiency's sake, there should be another farmer who's focused on replanting behind them so that immediately after they harvest, right, they're going to go harvest the next one and the next one and the next one. That plot's going to be empty. I think let's get a second farmhouse now. And we might expand into potatoes as well. We'll see about that. You're actually going to be focused on replanting. Let's remove the carrot focus and just have them harvest whatever's available to harvest. And you're going to replant whatever's available to replant. 2 workers for you. I think that's okay. All right, let's speed through another day. I feel like we reached the point where... Oh, hold on now. We did get... Yeah, look at this. We've got our power up and running. So what are you providing? 70... You're providing 70 as well. Interesting. I thought that they might provide more than that, to be honest. This needs 200 to work, so that's not great. Now let me ask a question. If I do a power shaft like that, it will join in. Okay. It will just connect, so I don't need to like unlock my own elbow joint. Looks like we need a 3rd windmill here. Oh, you know what? I was confused by the fact that these were facing the same direction, because I thought I built this facing a different direction, and I did, but the wind is blowing this way, it looks like. So, fortunately, it looks like this is not blocking the wind to this. They're both just, there's like a light breeze available. Okay, I can work with that. Where can I build a 3rd windmill here? I guess I can... I can just have a line of windmills like this? That should work. That looks like that'll work. Okay. That should get us enough horsepower to have this run continually. So we'll need our guys to build that. They should be able to do it. Yeah, that should be fine. It's all connected. Okay. Hey, the clear cutting starting over here. Love to see that. Okay. Check in on the oaks. Yeah, we got the whole forest grown. It's going to take them a while to cut through that. Look at all the logs, man. 600 logs. Love that. And yeah, we've got food. We got water. Seems like everybody's having a good time. We are running low on carrots here. I guess we're eating through those first. We might be, yeah, with this population. Oh, hold on. We've got 3 unemployed beavers, but we've got a total population of, what, 42? Life, universe, and everything. So 3 unemployed beavers. What else can we do? We can re-enable, well, it seems like they're eating the carrots first. So they're not really eating the berries. So re-enabling this guy doesn't seem like a great play. 113 planks. We can go ahead and build up our gear stock a little bit more. What else could we do? We're going to have the tapper shack in a minute. So we'll do that tomorrow. 4 builders. Maybe grab, we've got 3 vacancies, so I'll grab 2 more builders here. And 1 guy can just be unemployed for a minute until we get this tapper shack up and running. Okay. Day 6 complete. I do like the idea of turning this into a district, but it's going to take some work to get there. Ain't that the truth? That's a leftover. That's a seedling. Fortunately, this guy, when he's cutting these logs down, are putting them in here, which is why we placed that here. They're going to be useful for building up the infrastructure over here as well. Beaver is injured. What happened? Well, okay, so you went to the healing tent. Little guy. Oh, isn't he cute? There's not a good way to get a screenshot of that. It's underneath too much stuff. But Zukundi is getting treatment that he needs, so that's good. How are we doing over here? Yeah, this is looking good. Okay. We've already blocked this down to 2. Has that improved the throughput over here? No, it's still, well, maybe that just finished. Yeah, this is going up a little bit. I think it's, why is it bouncing up and down? Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see what happens once we get the 2 floodgates in there. Hey, look at this. Our sunflowers grew. Okay. Starting to put together some sunflower seeds. Next harvest of carrots should be here soonish. Yep, there come the carrots. So we'll start restocking some of that. This is 3 carrots. So what is that? It was like 1144 times 3. It's like 120 carrots, 130 carrots, something like that. Now why do you lack? Did the shaft not get built? What's the problem here? Building needs power to operate, connected to a power generator. Have I not done that? Network power supply. Demand 0. Supply is 0? Oh, there's no wind right now. Oh. So it only works on windy days? Like how? Huh. So it works at night. Does it not work during the day? Are these windmills not going to work for me? Okay, we'll have to see about that. Okay, they are working during the day here. Wind direction changed. This is now outputting 137 power. Okay. So now we've got more supply than demand. All right. Well, so I guess it makes sense that the wind is somewhat unreliable. We'll just have to see how unreliable it is. By the way, yeah, we want those built. Okay. All those sunflowers got eaten immediately. Looks like The Jevnok died of old age. I think we just let things run for a bit. We are seeing our first metal output. Okay, hold on. Now, that means I need storage for metal blocks. Yeah, that's going to be a pile. So you're going to take 2 hours to turn 2 scrap and 1/5 of a log into 1 metal block, which means if we have 16 working hours, that means you can get, divide by 2. You can get 8 metal blocks per day. This is later going to be the better path rather than going the long way around. So we can build some piles here. Do I have a space for a large pile? I guess I could do this. Or something like that. And then mark that for metal blocks. This should have some internal storage. Yeah, you can hold up to 13. I don't think we'll ever fill this. Like 180 metal blocks doesn't seem like it's possible. Especially with like the limited number of workers over here. But I'd rather not have to build 10 small piles. Or whatever. So, yeah. We're going to do that. Interesting they were able to build that levee from above without having to hop over here. Okay. Our path is going to be available here in a moment. There we go. And once those ladders are built, we have a much better path to get over to this area rather than going the long way. I like that. This is going to be our district crossing at some point. So we'll break the path. We'll put down the district crossing. We'll have warehouses on either side and somebody working in the crossing, I think. Figure that out. That's okay. Reach average well-being of 10. Nice. That's going to be the sunflower seeds. Okay. We can put the priority back to normal for these floodgates to get them built. Let's see. Once all we have left is seedlings, we're gonna get rid of this, I think. Once this last one's done. Hold on, did I not? Yep, I didn't do it. That's why. Get rid of that. And then we're going to uncut. We're going to destroy the seedlings. And do I need to, like, delete rubble? I can just manually delete these, huh? Okay. That's fine. Oh, I can just do like that. Perfect. Okay. I don't think that... Yeah, that didn't demolish anything. Okay. Where are we on science? 985. Okay, so... What are we going to do? We were going to do the tapper's sack, right? Tapper's shack. Tapper's shack. Let's get this unlocked. We're also interested in the paper mill, which I think we can afford both. Yeah, all right. Let's unlock this and get our first tapper shack built. Looks good. And then for storage, we can store some of it, I guess, here. We can say that this is going to be for, where is it? For pine resin, right? That seems fine. Let's clone that a couple times. So we'll have plenty of storage for pine resin there. We're still cutting the oak. Like, I'm not too worried about that. Wind has died down. Okay, so the wind is unreliable, but hey, it was an experiment. We learned about how this works. Actually, do I need you even to build this? I guess on low wind days, it's going to be good to have the third one. And it looks kind of cool. It takes up a lot of space. On strong wind days, we might be able to power a second one even. if we, at some point in the future. I don't know. We'll finish what we started. That's fine. Okay, we're done with this building, so let's get rid of it. And there we go. All right. So now we've got this nice space for the district crossing. This is a really good platform for it. We've got our path across. Yeah. I like this. I don't think we're quite going to be able to do it today, or this episode, rather. Yeah, the wind is really unreliable, huh? Okay. Now, the other interesting thing is now that we have these at 0.65, two floodgates at 0.65 and 2 floodgates at 0.65, I would think that the original flow strength of our river here would have been reset, right? Because I thought that building this forced more water this way. It might take a couple days to hit equilibrium as water sloshes back and forth depending on how they have the water physics set up. But I would expect to see, yeah, I would expect to see this go back up around, yeah, see, it's kind of bouncing up and down. And I think that's as like water sloshes back and forth between these two. I think there's like a tidal mechanism in place because it was unequal. We might even have to wait for another drought to really see it happen. And look at this, we've got our first metal blocks. This is actually working. We've got 6 metal blocks. Okay. So we're doing quite well here. I think our next purchase is going to be the district crossing. That's 600. Yeah, I can afford that now. All right. I think we got to see what this looks like. I'm not quite sure how we want to do this. But I guess we break the path, or do we just build it? Balances goods between the 2 connected districts. Each side has its own workers that distribute goods between the district. Each side has its own workers that distribute goods between the district crossing and the rest of the district. Carrying capacity plus 100%. So I guess somebody who works here. Yeah, right around here is kind of where it goes from like green to orange to red. So this is kind of the perfect place for it. Building this will break this into a district. Do I have to build a district center first or what? Like, how does that work? I don't want this to shut down. I might need to do this first, honestly. How would this work? Districts must be separated by a district crossing. Okay. I'm not sure where the district center is going to go, but it seems like the district crossing is the thing to do. I feel like, okay, I feel like this is the way to do it. And then we have plenty of like warehouse space, maybe even like this. And then well, that's a little overkill, right? That's okay. That gives us plenty of space to get warehouses here, like small to medium warehouses where we just put things that need to cross the border to go over here to, I guess I'm calling this Scrap Town. Yeah, this seems right to me. All right, let's break the path. Put in the district crossing. And I don't know how that's going to work. So let's take a look. There would be 4 workers available here. I think early on we just want the 2. Or maybe we would want 4. No. We just want 2, I think, to start. Somebody, and then we'd want, well, yeah. I guess at that point we would go into like the district tab. There's, no, I don't want well-being here. There's like a district. There's migration. And then there's distribution. I think this has something to do with, we'll have to figure this out. One thing I know these guys are going to need is a water pump. They're going to need their own. They're going to need a water pump for sure, so that they have their own drinking supply. I don't think they need a medium tank. I think they can get away with... We're only going to have 8 of them. So like 60 water, or maybe slightly more than that, should be enough to get them through a drought. We want them to be able to survive a long drought. So if there's 8 of them over here at some point, like, what do they drink? 1 or 2 per day? So if we have a 20-day drought with 10 workers, that's 200 water. A 20-day drought seems unlikely at best. So maybe 3 of these tanks and a pump would be good. I mean, we have to get this built, and then we have to build the district center. Then we need lodging and water, and storage is over here. There's a lot of things we need to make this work, so maybe I don't rush into this. Like, this is still technically a downtown path. Maybe we set everything up first, and then do the district center last. I think the minimum we need here is storage. Storage over here for incoming goods like food, like carrots and sunflower seeds, planks and gears that we may or may not need. Relatively small ones. They should be on this side. And then over here, or maybe down around, I'm not sure where, but we need somewhere to move these metal blocks. Because the main export of Scraptown is going to be the metal blocks, right? But we need this to be self-sufficient before we set up another district center, I think. So we'll just let this build, and we'll noodle a bit. Let's see. I mean, we got a small pump. Maximum depth of 2. Okay. I can't put it over the path like that. Or we'll have to build the path around it. That's really the only viable place for this, or no, we could have one over here. Could we? Why does that work there? Pipe obstructed. Okay. I do that. And then delete the path. Okay, that unobstructs the pipe. Put the path back, like around it. And then we're gonna want, we're gonna need to get in the front. Wait, where do they go in? Yeah, they go in there. Okay. And then we'll need, I guess, I don't feel like I want to build a medium tank. 300, maybe I should just build a medium tank. Just like get it over with, right? Instead of dinking around with like these small tanks, just give them more than they need, right? That could be fine. You could put it there. Does that make sense? Yeah, you know what? All right, that's fine. That'll sort their water needs. We need storage over here, and then we can have like some barracks over here. What are they called? Lodges. So if we go to housing here, these only house 3. I think I want to build. I think, like I said, we'd have like maybe 8 max people living over here. I think the thing that makes most sense is to build 3 on top of each other and plan for it, right? So how is that going to work? You guys want to live here? That might be more industrial area. Maybe we'll well, you know what? We can put 1 here. And And we can turn around and put one like this, or even like that, and have a path that goes to it. And then we can have the stairs up. We can have the platform. Or actually, we can use a little storage, I think. I think a little storage here doesn't make no sense. A little warehouse like this. Yeah, and then go for housing and put the third story here. Like that. Give it a little path, right? And then what's going to be stored here? Maybe this is where we'll store the carrots that we import. So if we import carrots, right? And then we want to obtain goods from other warehouses, right? We don't want to supply. We don't want to empty. We don't want to accept. We want to obtain. So hopefully that draws it across the border. And that lets us store 30 carrots, which for 8 workers, like if we keep that filled, that should be enough, right? Okay. So it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take some work to get this district thing working. Our builders are gonna be busy, but you know, working on projects is what beavers are good at. It's what they're for, honestly. Also, with 8 full-time scientists, we are now generating quite a lot of science, so I'm happy about that. Once we bring the district online, we're gonna have to cut down some of these guys until we can repopulate on this side. We did get our farmhouse built. We got 2 workers here working on planting, 2 workers here working on harvesting. I think since they're all doing nothing, it's time to maybe put in a few more plants. Why don't we throw down some... So wheat has to be processed. Potatoes, I guess, can be processed raw. Or can be eaten raw, I think. If we look at nutrition... Where's nutrition? Yeah, grilled potatoes and bread give us nutrition. So I guess for now, I don't know if there's a way to prevent them from eating potatoes, but let's get them planted anyway. And next time we'll try setting up a grill. We'll keep working on this district idea. Hey, at least we've got a little bit of metal going. The idea there was, oh, and then we built our tapper shack. Prioritize pine resin. He's working. Yeah, we got a little bit of pine resin going too. Oh yeah, you can see over here, we got our first 8 pine resin, our first 9 metal blocks. That's fantastic. Love to see it. 841 logs, 100 planks, 56 gears. Everything's going well, right? Water's back over 400. Our science is kicking with 8 scientists. We've got plenty of food. Now the beehives we saw, where was that? No, it's not under bots. There was something about beehives making... I don't know if it makes crops go faster or have bigger yield. I guess I just don't know for now. But we're starting our 3rd crop. We did get this built, so, you know, we'll see at the next drought how that works. Power here is creeping up. I don't know, maybe that'll equalize over time. Not sure. And we started work on our district, so that's great. And we got these, we got some industry going here. It's looking good, right? Looking good with the windmills and the smelter up and running. Love to see it. Grab that screenshot for the thumbnail. Anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this episode of my Let's Play, my playthrough of Timberborn. Feels like things are going well. I did play on easy because I wanted to avoid too much stress. Feels like that paid off quite well. All these oaks are giving us tons of resources. We're going to have to switch back to the pines eventually, but we'll gather pine resin from them for now. Yeah, lots of beavers getting started on an actual district, which feels exciting. Tons of science coming in so we can unlock more stuff. Our 3rd crop. All in all, I'm very pleased with how things are going. I feel like this is a well-run, well-managed colony. It's thriving, it's prosperous. Now, we do have to worry about the eventual bad tide coming. We can't let that linger for too long. But, you know, what else can I do other than say, like, it's on my mind, right? Once we get metal, we can go into dynamite. We can start carving channels. We can get sluice gates going. I just can't allow myself to forget about it. But for now, we have to take our wins, take our progress, and be happy with it, and just keep an eye on the future as we play through. That'll happen in future episodes. For now, thanks again for watching. Appreciate you guys. Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye.